Shane's going to be the introduce me. George, we're going to mute with the knocks. Hard Knocks Life. And then I'll introduce everybody in and we'll get right to it, okay? So we got the new song. So countdown song, Shane. There we go.
Wait, where is are you want me to do the countdown? You're gonna do the song?
Yep. You do the countdown. I got the song. The song's at the bottom.
Let's go. Turn that shit up, man.
32 is the identity.
We were kind of stuck in neutral, and I thought it was a good idea to hand the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
Loses the football, strip sack, and a take.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double teams like 96 Hakeem hits. You can tell the shit matters. Their love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, don't expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears our life.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears
I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth,
the rent legend, Draft Dr. Phil Ocean.
Because teams realize, hey, we gotta stop Matt.
When you put that much into it, you don't let that. And the guy next to you says, "You son of a bitch, you better block." That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
And let's get it on.
This is Bears Hour Live.
This is how it's done, Jack. A little fucking energy. The Bears Hour Live. The Bears are back. We're starting this show off the right way. These guys that are on the panel today don't even know what I'm about to say because we have some breaking news. We have a new offensive tackle in Chicago.
Really?
Jason Peters. The grizzled veteran just signed a deal to play offensive line in Chicago. I don't know if that's great news for Tevin Jenkins. My guess would be no, but the Bears took the field today. Happy Justin Fields Day. Started a little bit slow. We saw some of our patrons, some Bears fans melting down live. You know, let's not overreact to the monotony of preseason and how vanilla it goes or how vanilla it gets. But you want to see the wild plays, and we were lucky enough to see some of those. Justin Fields didn't start off the way we wanted it, but don't forget, you know, this is all a process. This is step one in hopefully 12 to 15 year career. But you guys aren't here to listen to me open this up. But Jason Peters is a Bear.
There's hope, guys.
We're going to flip this over to the offensive line guru, and we're going to do our preseason the right way with a DDP rant.
What's up, guys? My boy, the smartest man, passing the baton. You guys know this. This is TTNL. The tape never lies. That's where the reality of this truth goes. And listen, this is breaking news happening right now. The Chicago Bears have a young franchise quarterback. They sign a seasoned veteran. I remember when this dude came out of Arkansas, was a tight end that the Philadelphia Eagles took a chance on. And their
Buffalo.
scouts,
Philly traded a first rounder for him. Yeah.
That's right. Buffalo took a chance on him. Philly traded. Thank you, Shane. That's huge news for the Chicago Bears because there is unknowns with our guy Tevin Jenkins. If this injury goes worse, you're protecting yourself. You're being proactive. Fuck the blog boys and what they got to say about anybody drafted or any moving part. This is about winning now. This is that move that you get a veteran in there that's going to solidify and protect you at the left side. He's been there, done that, is an athlete. This is huge because I'll tell you right now, you little blog boy fucks, you don't know anything about football if you've gone out and wrote a narrative on Justin Fields. Let me say this right near that was electric. That was everything you want to be or see. Now, if Justin Fields goes out there, you've placed him in a no-win situation, and that's what the blog boys and the city of Chicago has done to quarterbacks. This guy is bigger than that. He's better than that. He's all about the game and being the franchise quarterback that he's going to be. You saw it there on stage. The second half, everything started to slow down. Brett Favre would go out there, start throwing balls over the head, and everyone's worried. Then Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame. This is his first snaps at Soldier Field, and I see people writing him off because they don't know anything about the quarterback position. But everybody at halftime here at TTNL, and if you were a patron, you'd know about it. We all talked, including my dad, about how poised Justin Fields looked and how Javon Wims jumped a little bit too early for that deep ball that was a perfect pass down the left sideline, and how the other receiver should go up, pinpoint, and throw two hands up, number 13, but he didn't do it in the first half because then the story is different. The narrative is different. I see all the little fuckers out there ready to pounce on Justin Fields and take away. These are against second stringers, guy. No, this is the NFL. You've heard me say it. Everybody's fighting for their lives to play and make a play. Now, if Justin Fields goes out there against those same second stringers that you're saying are nobodies and pisses down his leg, then you're beating him up for that. So for him to go out there and perform the way you want your young quarterback who's never taken a snap in the NFL to do, he does just that, and he does it better than you can even imagine, because that one run where he just takes off down the sideline, you just see the reality of what he's going to do to defenses. And oh, by the way, he's playing with second stringers himself. So don't even go there. I talked to former Bear Lemuel Stinson live here right before. He's like, Phil, this kid's got it. You could just see it. And everybody that wants to freaking pounce, go to another network. Go to another, the same fucks that have the shit talk about Khalil Mack, about Robert Quinn. You can't have nice things. That's the problem. We're going to bring on my legendary father. He's going to talk about, we're going to bring on Bearlissimo with the tape and the telestrator. You're going to see it. It's right there happening right in front of you. And I'm sitting there watching this game with Ryan Cox, Spencer Strong, Shane Marsaw, all of us watching it together, reacting to it live. And I'll tell you what, all of us in unison, and we're going to have guests that are out there at the game live, that have witnessed it live. The vibe at Soldier Field must be unbelievable because you finally have a quarterback, Shane. We finally feel the energy of what these Chicago Bears are going to be about. Let's get it right into it, guys. That's my rant today. No special music, no anything. It's just fuck the blog boys, right, Shane? You already had to see it. The energy.
Well,
of
even
guys.
Bears fans, Phil.
Bears
it's
fans
so
too,
hard
yeah.
to. I mean, we understand it's a long off season. We totally get it, but just pump the brakes on the. I'm done with this team after that. It's preseason, week 1. You have a rookie quarterback out there getting his feet wet. You know what I mean? It's just pump the brakes. You every single practice, and Phil, your dad can speak on this because he's lived it and breathed it for years.
Yes.
When you have a quarterback like Justin Fields, you want to see something that tells you every single practice. You want to see one or two things like, wow. You want to see that. We've seen that continue in practice. You always hear you saw him do this. He did that. He made a run and it was impressive. You saw Justin Fields do that today. And my overarching thing that I take out of this from today completely is just watch his presence in the pocket.
Oh my God! In the second,
he's not nervous. His heart rate is almost flatlined. Former Bears quarterbacks were like a fish out of water, bouncing all around, slapping the ball, and he's just calm. He gets it. Dude, you can feel it in the stadium. You can feel it. You can see it on the guys on the sidelines. Do you see Matt Nagy jumping up and down on the sideline when he made that play?
Finally,
to Jesse James. Did you see it?
Yes.
That stuff matters.
It does. And speaking of what matters, let's bring on the Coach Atoshin Sr., our guy. Dad, you watched it. Shane spoke on it, so you speak on it. A young quarterback. First, what's your assessment of him? But yeah, I believe I could speak for you with Shane. He's right?
Well, as a coach, and I coach quarterbacks all the way.
Yep.
I coached quarterbacks. I coached line. I coached everywhere. I mean, when you get a great football player, you know it. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've coached average quarterbacks. I mean, they were great kids, and I loved coaching them. But nothing like this. I mean, this kid, he can run. He's probably the fastest guy in both teams. I mean, he's 6'4".
Oh, my God.
6'4", 230 pounds. That's probably going to be 240 pounds. Because they're in training camp now, and they're working double sessions and everything. They have a tendency to lose weight. Once they get into the season, they're eating more, and they're gaining a few pounds.
Exactly.
He will be 240 pounds. He's got a rifle for an arm. Let's go back to the film. The film is, and I saw it, I was worried about this kid getting nervous for whatever happened. The first 12 plays, you punted,
Right.
And here this kid comes in, and he's supposed to do something, and it didn't happen at first. But boy, the second half, he showed you an awful lot. Well, actually, I stayed around. I wanted to watch the last series. I came in here to open up the computer and see us on this great show. And I said, let me go back there. I was talking to George. I said, George, I'll be right back. And I'm watching him. I said, son of a gun, he's got so much composure. And then in the second half,
halftime, you're talking about the 2-minute drill. You could just see that moment wasn't bigger than him. Totally agree with you, Dad. The calmness. I'm sitting there watching it with Shane and everybody, and Berlissimo. We're gonna bring him out. Shane, bring him out. You had just the energy of Justin Fields, composed, calm, and cool, and it's really impressive. There he is, our telestrator, George Berlissimo, right there. Gotta love George. We're gonna get into a lot of this film stuff, but George, you want to speak on it too. Justin Fields, he looks the part, the calmness, the poise. Everyone's talking about it. Oh, we got you muted, George. Unmute. There. Oh.
Now I'm unmuted.
There you go. There you
go. Wait a minute. You sounded better on mute, George.
Thanks, Ed. I also sounded more intelligent. There we go. Anyway, I'm sorry we don't have subtitles for my English accent, but for those that haven't heard me before. But I think one of the things that people haven't talked about so far that I find really interesting from this game was in that first series that Justin Fields had, literally everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for him. Yeah. That didn't faze him at all. Didn't even blink in the faces of the live bullets for his first time on the field in the NFL. A bad series followed by some bad play calling by Nagy. Nagy settled in a little bit when he started seeing what Justin could do and sort of that first run where he sort of escaped the pocket and he lost the ball. That was the wake-up call. That was the moment that Justin said, okay, now I know I need to sort of focus and this is what I need to do going forward. And from that moment on, the kid was just so composed and just everything looks effortless. And that's how you know you got something really special, because it doesn't look taxing. It doesn't look difficult. They don't look phased. They're just literally in the moment. And that's what he looked to me. He looked like a quarterback who was seeing the field, wasn't rushed, what was composed all the way, and was just dicing people up. I mean, some of the passes in the first half that were dropped, we saw them caught in the second half. That was the difference in the performance, I thought.
Somebody's got to step up and make plays. I think everybody was saying this guy, Javon Wims, really needs to put into place. I just think that the false start, the way he ended last year, the just mistimed jump ball, these things, you got to help your young quarterback, and your receiver, who's a veteran, is fumbling himself all over the field. It's so disappointing on so many levels. Javon Wims, I can get the other guys because they're kind of new here and in the NFL, but to see Wims, Shane, out there, that is a big disappointment, and I really think he might have to go.
He should be off the roster tonight.
Tony Medlin should have took his stuff out at halftime.
Yeah. I mean, it's
you know something. All of them need some work.
Oh yeah, and
we were talking about that earlier about these guys pressing. I mean, they're making guys cover them.
Yeah,
you know, every play's got to. They got to believe you're going deep.
Yeah,
that's what they got to believe. And if you don't have the speed, you shouldn't be there.
Exactly. They're running slants. So every third down, me and George were talking about it. Third down, they're running slants. And they're throwing. So it was 3rd and 2. Nagy, in usual midseason form, empty set. Now he's throwing slants with Andy Dalton. And there's no separation, to my father's point. There's no press to that outside, make that defensive back turn and get underneath it. It's not happening in the first half. You saw, again, first game jitters, all of that stuff. We're going to be watching again next Saturday. They go against the Buffalo Bills, who have a very good defense. You're going to have to see these receivers start separating. And again, there's no Allen Robinson out there. There's no Marquise Goodwin out there, and there was no Darnell Mooney. Those are your top 3. So the other guys, if you really want to be on this roster, you're going to need to step up. And now with the huge breaking news, if you're just tuning in right now, the Chicago Bears have signed a veteran left tackle, Jason Peters. And that guy was one of my favorite football players in the entire NFL. So if he has anything left in the tank, I hope this isn't like a Orlando Pace when he's getting too old. Yeah, when Olin Kreutz was like, "Yeah, we got Orlando Pace. We got him with 3 flat tires."
Let's not forget that Jason Peters has a lot of time under Coach Castillo as well. So I mean,
yes,
there's that.
That's a very good point. Right, so I hope they work.
Phil, if I could say one thing about,
go ahead. That's
no, I want to. You guys are doing great, but I just want to get a word in. If I want to see the coach of the kicking team start working on discipline. Oh my God, that was the worst exhibition of the whole kicking game except for the field goal team. It was awful. Punt coverage, kicking coverage. It was awful. Unbelievable. And then that kid coming out of the end zone at 10 yards deep. He should have been shot. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He should have taken the fat catch.
We talked about that live while we were watching it. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. But what are you going to do?
No, you're 100% right, Dad. And I'm going to put the question back onto you. There he is, Jason Peters. If you're just tuning in, a huge signing. Again, we're all going to be speculating on Tevin Jenkins. I saw somebody saying he's going to get surgery, and then
my gosh,
that's just speculation. Nobody knows. So this is what we said. We had Cherie, we had Jackal, and our guy Greg Braggs, who was live out there, and we're going to go to a bunch of guys live that were witnessing history. Justin Fields, but we all said you need to get a veteran left tackle in here to help support this team. And George makes the point so far of that signing that Juan Castillo's history with this guy is going to give him a leg up edge-wise. There's 2 more preseason games to get ready. This is a big-time athlete, a veteran that's done it, and hopefully, like I said, he doesn't have the 3 flat tires like Olin Kreutz said when they signed Orlando Pace. However, the Justin Fields is the story. I mean, it is a story. But to your point, Dad, special teams coverage units were horrific. They were tackling. They're not staying in their lanes. Xavier Crawford, number 47. You got outside contain. All you got to do is stay out there. He bites up inside. They break it back outside to him. And that kid from Texas Tech is a speedster. Go ahead.
One of the other things you could see was obvious on both teams. The tackling was atrocious. These guys were running up and down the field without being taken down. Quarterback running. I mean, I grant you these guys are big size, but you know what happens? It's not their fault because the emphasis is not on tackling during this preseason because you don't want to get anybody injured. And the other thing is you're taking another pregame away from them, and the preseason is shortened, and they're not getting enough of it.
Right.
And naturally, you don't want to lose guys, but you could see that they need work. I don't care if it's against dummies. They need work. They need to put their chest in there. And wrap. That was the other thing. They were hitting hard. You could see that they were excited, but their hands weren't wrapping. They didn't get the guy.
Right.
Spin around. He's going again.
Yep. And you saw a lot of them get home, but there was a lot of holding out there. Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack played 7 or 8 plays. That was it. Then they went to the backups. Really, ultimately, George, let's go back to the first half. Again, a lot of things that are going to be rusty in the first half, and Andy Dalton. And the big story will be our guy, David Montgomery. First play, running inside zone, gets nicked up. Apparently, it's just a bruise. He was out in one play, so 1 carry, and all of us got nervous there because of what happened with David Montgomery, right? I mean, it's been
you don't want to lose him.
You don't want to lose that guy. But the kid, listen, staying at running back, Khalil Herbert, looked really good out there at number 24, attacking those holes, playing kick returner and special teams. Khalil Herbert really was somebody offensively, I think, that needs to get a tip of the hat how well he played. Obviously, we're going to get to the other side of the football because we got a lot to say about what Zach Suleiman is talking about. Ogletree, clearly one of the most exciting football players and probably my favorite signing by the Chicago Bears. It was unbelievable the way he played out there. Ogletree, that is. You could just see that he's somebody. George, we talked about this on Keeping It 100. Shane, we talked about this before. He might be the most underrated signing, and Shane breaks the news at halftime that it almost didn't happen. It only happened because Robert Quinn invited him to talk about that, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, he's really close with Robert Quinn. I'm sure probably most people have seen that Robert Quinn's sister was in the Olympics, and she was running, and I believe she won gold.
Gold, yeah, she did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she won
so
gold.
Bears
Yep.
coaches were there, and Ogletree was in town, very close with Robert Quinn, so he came over to Hallis Hall to watch the race along with him to support his friend. And he got there and he started talking to Bears coaches, and next thing you know, he's taking a physical and they sign him. But that's the way the things happen sometimes.
Dude,
just out of the blue like that. And hey,
you look sharp with that light on. Keep that light on every time you do the show. Moving
Phil,
forward.
real quick, Alex
Yes.
texted me, wants to know, do you want him and Braggs?
Yes. Tell him to jump in.
Did you give him the link?
I did. I gave them the link earlier. Chris Jackal has been the biggest ball drop since fucking Javon Wims. I don't know where he is. Supposed to be producing, uploading. He has more excuses than Matt Nagy at a Matt Nagy presser. So can you get him the link, Shane?
Yeah,
I'll hold down this part.
I'll do
here.
Jackal's job.
Do Jackal's job. Listen, Dad, offensive line play. First, obviously, you're out without your guy, Larry Borum, a guy that you targeted, said probably the best tackle in the draft. The Bears had him. He's in concussion. Obviously, my guy Tevin Jenkins, there's a huge question mark about him. This signing obviously brings the highlighter pen out. Everyone's going to panic, but Jason Peters is a veteran. I think Coach Nagy's coming to the podium, but let's pause there, go to Coach Nagy, and add him to the live stream if we can hear him. I don't know if we can hear him, Shane.
Yeah.
For all of us as players and coaches,
here we go, George.
That environment that we just hit in that first preseason game with those
smiling
fans,
Matt Nagy.
Thank you, man. That was awesome. The vibe that we had, the fans getting going. Even the mockery there at the end of the second quarter when we were struggling and didn't get any first downs. You could the applause when we got our first
Tonga
down.
is definitely.
We understand that.
You heard me react draft day to Tonga.
Thought it was awesome.
George, my father, and me broke
that
Tonga down
games.
on the patron
we
side.
need that and we want that. So
we
wanted Tonga
in the
picture. Tons of situational things today that we as coaches love because we can teach off of that. Tons of it. Special teams, defense, offense. It really started there at the end of the second quarter with Justin being able to take him down and steal 3
I'm
points.
so happy with what I saw so far. Simmons,
we won the turnover battle. We want to stay. We protected the football on offense.
Houston
we got 2
Carson
takeaways on defense. So we want to be able to be tops in the league in that category. Offensive line, 0 sacks. Got the run game going a little bit. I think that's been an emphasis from everybody here, just trying to wonder what's going to happen there. And I thought they did a great job. It still doesn't mean anything, but at the same point in time, it allows us to know that they did a great job.
It doesn't mean
of
anything
not letting
for the
those quarterbacks
record,
get hit and getting the run game
it
going.
matters for your confidence. So it does mean a hell of a lot.
Penalties,
a
lot of penalties in that first half.
Yeah, it seemed like
the discipline stuff.
Every
penalty, able to just be smart,
right,
and getting
Shane?
first downs or offensively moving backwards. That we can't have. Again, we want to make sure these guys learn from that. And then that's really probably it. I know you guys got a lot of questions, but the biggest thing for us as coaches and for the guys in there as players is there's
we don't let Matt Nagy talk, Oliver.
It allows us to
sure you're
go
new
through
to
a
this.
game situation and do the things that
our
sometimes
show.
you forget to do when you don't have preseason. So the logistics of all that I thought went well. And in the end, ultimately, you love winning. And I'm proud of our guys. And now we get right back.
Was out there playing guard today. I'll tell you why.
Right at the beginning, what did you tell him, and then what did you like how he responded in that 2-minute drill right beforehand?
Sure, yeah, it was there's the excitement and everybody is juiced up, ready to go, and we had a couple runs.
I hope he brings up the
and get the guys
kicking game.
Justin, but everybody, we were moving some guys.
Somebody has to ask him about the kicking game.
I think that just goes to show that nothing's always perfect. We came back and. Then we had the one low snap, and we were kind of going backwards, and we had some incompletions, and it just was choppy. But that's kind of a part of it. And I thought it was great to see the resiliency of the offense in general, of being able to go down there. And guys, you mentally practice the end of the half stuff so far. We haven't really done it live. So to have some of that stuff go on, it's great teaching. And then in the end, to get those 3 and make a long field goal. That probably propelled us a little bit mentally going into halftime.
James Daniels was not dressed today.
It's good for him. So to answer your question, long-winded story, he did a great job of bouncing back, which is what he's always done.
The last 2 completions of that drive, the 15-yarder to Hardy and then the quick one to Jesse. The block obviously a factor. What was your take on those 2 to get you?
It was smart. We were holding on to the timeouts. The clock was getting down, and then you get down there, and I think we had 7 or 8 seconds left. So that stuff we talk about, we teach, we show tape of it, but we didn't really practice it a whole lot. So that's now we get to take it and go
so
in a couple of days and watch it. But it just goes to show, like, very, very calm. I thought Justin, I know, all these guys did a good job, but I thought because he played the most snaps, the one thing that you felt from Justin probably that we all took away down there, that he was extremely calm the whole time.
So, man, just overall, how do you process what he did out there? Knowing, again, it's the preseason.
Process it.
Yep.
Process.
Yeah, for sure. And if you go back to the start of training camp, and as when we drafted Justin, and we had Andy in here, and we have Nick, I've continued to say that all we want to do is we want to make this that we want them to be the best quarterbacks they can be. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about next week. Don't worry about the future. Just worry about today. And I thought that Justin did a great job of worrying about today. And he played smart football. He made plays.
How he processes it,
and
Shane?
Again, like what you just said, it is preseason.
What kind of question?
We all understand that there's variables involved in all that.
Jesus Christ.
But at the same point in time,
should be about
if you
kicking
said, hey, you
game
go back
right
and
here.
you look, is he doing what you want him to do? Absolutely. And
are you concerned with the special teams
because
coach?
Andy and Nick there on the sideline helping
Terrible.
helping him on the sideline, and he was just very reserved. And then also that scramble for a touchdown. You know, there you feel the vibe, you feel the energy, and
that's 6'4", 230-something pounds. You could see every bit of it.
A couple drives. I guess that's what you wanted, but what do you think about?
Yeah, it was hard because we didn't have. It was only a few drives, and it was 3 and outs. I'll go back and watch the
3rd
tape
and 2, coach.
Some of the whys.
Back to your old whys.
It's just
I'll
again,
see some of the whys.
I think it's kind of a deal where these guys aren't going to play very much. Like David's he's trying to tell, hey, give me the ball, give me the ball. He wants like 15 carries preseason 1. And
yeah,
I told him he wasn't going to be getting many, so he got his 2 and got out. And so it's hard to answer that question because you don't get in a rhythm. It's just difficult. It's more so, to tell you the truth, with these ones. It's more so to just let them go through pregame, let them get out there, get your feeling of what it's like to just run a few plays and then get out. And so it's hard to evaluate that.
For a guy like Andy, it's kind of perfunctory. He's been through this so many times.
Yeah.
But for the offense as a whole, it seems like they need the work. So how do you balance that?
No, they do. Yeah, they do. And we have some
first
timing that we're continuing to work on. But again, like, A-Rob's not out there, right?
Exactly.
You got, Marquise Goodwin's not out there. You got, a couple guys on the offensive line that
Jimmy
are out
Graham
there. David comes out after 2 plays. So it's not, I guess, as we
Shane,
get
are you
going here a little
upset
bit
that
more,
he's
we'll see
ignoring
more
like David went out with an injury?
That, but I think more so than anything, like I said a few days ago, we know what he can do.
I didn't need to see David Montgomery in the first place.
Game. We know what he can do
in game 1. Honestly, in preseason, but no, I get it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, I took him out after 2 plays.
Yeah, they're gonna dismiss any injury. That's just the way that they roll.
Definitely hiding that shit.
I don't think he's gonna come out and say, "Oh, my running back hurt his knee today."
Mm-hmm.
Also, how do you just process balancing that with what your plan is?
Yeah, no, it's
CJ German with some breaking Bears news.
Everybody here is super excited about the way that
smash the like button.
And
Jason Peters,
and
we've been talking about it.
We understand the buzz. We understand the excitement.
Will they ask him about Jason Peters?
That's why we drafted him. You know what I mean?
Will they ask him?
No, they're not smart enough to figure it out.
We want to make sure that we continue to go through this thing, that we understand the process. This is one game that he came in here, and now the beautiful thing is we get to get more practices in and get to see how he comes back next week, against Buffalo, and he's going to have another chance. And then, as we said, all these guys, Andy included, and they're all going to want to come out here and just do the best they can do at their position. And when we watch the tape tomorrow, there's going to be guys that shine and guys that can get better. But I totally understand all the buzz, all the excitement, and we feel it too.
Jason, what do you have to do to push you to the point of saying?
Somebody just said Jason Peters, I think, in that little scrum. I'm serious.
Keep stacking.
Really?
I don't like Brad Biggs.
He had today, right?
And
understanding that
our buddy.
Again, in this whole process, in this plan as we go,
maybe text Zach too. So
what's the ultimate goal for us as an offense? Score touchdowns, right? So keep scoring, keep leading the team down,
I think
keep getting first downs.
Biggs
keep
ask about
touchdowns.
it right now.
Let us be able to see the whys behind everything, right? Why did that happen? And the more times that you have things happen because of that player, meaning Justin, or that player because of Andy, or that player because of Montgomery, or whoever, we know that, we see that, and then it makes it hard on us. And then we're going to do whatever is best. In the end, ultimately, we're always going to do what's best for the Chicago Bears, right? And so here we are in week 1, and I just think we all understand that it was a great first day for Justin at that position. He did awesome. We love that. And now let's put it together,
Coach.
And let's keep working. Let's improve it, and let's stay consistent with it, right?
This
let's
is the best I've heard him talk
when you're back out there. And we also understand, like,
you think number one has anything to do with it?
Much. They want to play a little bit more next week too, and do their thing. And we're looking for the identity of this offense and how we get to the
coach. The identity is 32, and now 1.
Peters' agent announced that.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Where does that put you at with the left tackle position, and does that indicate that Tevin's not going to be around?
That's actually a good question.
It really doesn't have anything to do with Tevin, but what it does is it's more about familiarity with a guy that's played in this league for a long time. He's been very good. We understand that he's older. We get that. We know that. There's a history with Juan. Juan worked with him several years ago in Philadelphia. I know him when I was there. I think in general, what it does is he knows that for us to bring him in, that there's a great competition for him to come in, and just we're trying to do everything we can to provide protection and great run game and whatever we need to do. I think that's the beauty of Ryan and his guys. They're looking everywhere at every spot. So it just, if that's going to provide more competition and somebody that played last year and did well when you watch the tape, we like that. And I think that's
this is what Nagy's looking for. Is the end of his surname.
Talk to him? I mean, is he going to sign here to be a backup?
No, I think he's coming in here to compete to be the left tackle. You know,
the
so
left tackle. There
you
open,
go, man. It's competition. And
see the smile, see the truth.
I think
so that this could be an ode to Fetty is out for a long time, and then if Jenkins isn't super serious, and he'll be your right tackle.
Exactly.
Let's go.
And Borum as well, because Borum's coming back. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
The unknown is Jenkins.
Who's number 70 that was in there today was cutting off?
Elijah Wilkinson.
Is he
Alexander
Yeah,
Wilkinson?
It's a really good question, Adam.
He did a great job today.
Yeah,
we weren't very good on Wednesday. Forget just Justin. Our offense, we weren't. No, let me rewind. We were pretty good for most of the day until 2 minutes. We came back on Thursday, and I thought our guys stepped up and they did what we wanted them to do. I love that. I love that they competed, they fought.
Hit the like
Justin,
button.
You know, he
grew
too, and he had a pretty good day.
Let everybody know
he had a pretty
where
good
we're
day.
at TTNL.
So you take that now and you say, well, he can't be hit. There's a few times in there where we let the whistle go so that they can finish
Don't let the blog boys ruin it.
We were joking, you know.
Jonathan
I was joking
Woods,
with one of the linebackers. Do you think
first
you had him?
quarter
And he's like, yeah. And Justin's like, no, you didn't. But when we get out there in the game right now live, you see what happens when he gets outside of that pocket. You see, so it's a stressor.
The excitement on this
stressor to those defenses.
Who knows
they want to drop 8. They want to play 20.
Open up his playbook.
You know, it's and that goes into the part where I think where we felt a calmness from him when he's outside the pocket. You saw he wasn't just going outside the pocket to run for 80 yards.
He's
smooth with
very confident and he's good right now because it's the first time he's had something good to say.
And then we turned it on.
Oh, I know the coach.
Coach Nagy looks to me like he's just had his birthday present from his wife.
His strengths.
Yeah. So building on that, man, is there anything Justin can do the rest of this preseason to change your plans to start ending week 1?
Just worry about tomorrow, baby.
That's it.
Seriously. You know, that's all I want him to do, and make it.
That just told me the competition has
have a
just
really good
begun.
Quarterback right now.
That quote.
Fields. We have a really good quarterback in Andy Dalton and a really good quarterback in Nick Foles. That's all I want them to do. Just work seriously. Just worry about
competition has just begun, boys, and I love it.
Just
that's what it should have been about to begin with.
The best quarterback you can be for the Bears. Yeah, I know. We were joking about it on the sideline. You know, maybe, I mean, he probably can do it, but right now, just probably put the shoulder down and run through him.
No, probably. Yes, please do that.
But I you know, he likes it. He thinks he's an athlete, so we just gotta.
Who is that? He's talking about?
Komet hurdle.
Oh, Cole Komet jumping.
Yeah.
Goes into that, away from it. What does that tell you about his presence of mind as far as seeing where he could go within that, instead of panicking and just taking off the other way?
Well, yeah, that was a little bit of the calmness that he had. And I think that you don't feel the panic, you know, if you go the other way, like he's calm in the pocket. And part of that's because he trusts his speed. He knows that, you know, he's pretty fast out there. So if there is a guy that's going to come and try to make a play here or there, he understands that outside the edge, if there's a guy coming at 45, he can outrun him. But overall, I thought the pocket presence was good. And again, to the credit to the offensive line, they provided they provided a pocket for him to be able to see downfield. He had that nice deep cross that we dropped.
He
that was a
didn't
good play,
even
play
panic not once, Shane. Even with bodies coming around him, you saw
generally
him.
In all, I'd say for for Justin to have the second team reps, he got a lot of valuable experience situationally. And for the first preseason game, to have as much as we had in that first, you know, situationally, that's awesome tape work for us. And so I'm just proud of all the guys and looking forward to this week.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Coach Nagy, the happiest we've ever seen him.
Right.
I got to be honest, from LeBron James's tweet, I think we have that somewhere, all the way out to my boy Ashton Kutcher and former Bear Lemuel Stinson.
Sorry, this comment.
Oh, boy. All of them having a great grand time with the reality of, let's just talk about Justin Fields. That to me definitely says there's a quarterback competition that's in Chicago. There's no way to go around that. There's no way, because his composure, his poise, and you know what? The play that stands out to me is when he takes off down the field, shows his speed, but it wasn't like a nervous thing, Shane. It was like your pad level's perfect. You're going for the big play and you get it and you go out of bounds, and it was nothing for him. And the very next play, what is he doing? Off action, the tight end throwback, throws his first touchdown pass. This kid is something special. He's everything we thought he would be. And I think I'm being completely transparent here. When you're in your first game and the pressure of the Windy City, Chicago, that has chewed up and spit out quarterbacks before, I've never seen a rookie ever go under center and look as confident, cool, and dynamic as that. So you blog boy fucks that want a narrative, they never played football in your life, have no idea all of that pressure, all of that lifetime of the cameras on this kid. It wasn't big for him. And that really sets this apart, because as we said, we have tape of it. Javon Wims jumping too early is the difference in a first half narrative for these bloggers to be different. And same with 13. He's running to that ball is a dime ball to the right side of the field. You could just see it drop in there. George, I don't know if we have that play. We can go right into that, but we are going to fight narratives here. I'm not, he's playing against second. It's only preseason. Tap the brakes. I'm saying, Dad, a rookie to go out there and look as calm as he did. You saw it in New England with Mac Jones, right?
I have a good point. I have a great point here. First of all, what did you think of Miami?
I think they're a very good coach football team.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. He had 3 quarterbacks. Every one of them could throw the ball.
Yep.
Every one of them. You know what? That's teaching. Their receivers ran great patterns. That's what the Bears need. You want to get big plays, he's got to throw the ball, not run the ball. Right. You can't jeopardize this guy's life. I'm telling you right now. I agree with you.
And I think I don't like it, Shane. I know it's the first preseason game. We saw what happened with Montgomery, but I just want all the starters, get out there. You've worked your ass off all year. Go out there. One series for Allen Robinson and Mooney. Let them run. If they're healthy, that is, and let them just run and get.
I agree with the veterans and stuff like that. The older guys, Allen Robinson. I would probably push back on that a little bit more. Darnell Mooney, yeah, you're goddamn right. He should be out there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I don't want to overrate what he did last year. He was a good rookie wide receiver. That didn't buy him veteran status to not contribute in preseason or have to get out there and show it again, unless he's, if he's nicked up or something like that. But that's we saw Matt Nagy do that in 2019. They just assumed the next step was Super Bowl, and the only thing that's going to stop us is injuries. So nobody played, even a raw, underdeveloped quarterback. Exactly. They sat him on the sidelines, and that's
you got it, man. You got really a lot of reps. Here he is, Justin Fields, our guy Barlissimo, the telestrator man.
Yeah, so Damian Williams just helping out to Cody Whitehair, who got beat here. So just helping out, just giving Justin that little bit of time, just no panic, just steps up, still eyes downfield. Great footwork there. So pushing off the back foot, nice fast release.
Man,
in terms of where does he put the ball?
How nice is it to see a quarterback with footwork in the pocket?
Look at the footwork, the step out, Dad, perfectly done. He's not panicked. There's feet behind you. You can hear this stuff as a quarterback as George zooms in. There's bodies behind you on the ground. You don't know, but it's not phasing him. He steps right in over the top. Look at him go across the body in the pocket. You put your hand in the other side pocket. And look, this ball, if this receiver plants his feet, jumps for it, he catches. That's a money ball right there.
Even if the receiver just presses the cornerback towards the sideline a little bit, he gives himself that room to come back to the ball. But He doesn't. He's impressed. I mean, the cornerback's doing a good job. He's playing a crafty veteran left arm, keeping his the right arm of the receiver down. That's crafty cornerback move. But the receiver should have helped himself a little bit there.
That's on the money. That's on the money. That's
the best way. Help himself. That's a great term.
He didn't help himself.
Right.
The same type of play, he goes up and grabs the ball and that's number 13 there, makes a great catch coming out in the second half. That's what your young quarterback needs. Playmakers that are going to make plays. Obviously, is 13 going to make this team? He keeps showing up and down, though. He also dropped another one, George, that was right in his chest plate.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was on third down.
You got to let.
That's the one he tried to bread basket.
He tried to bread basket it this.
You can't catch with your arms.
Yeah,
you catch with your hands.
He allowed it to get into his forearms like this, and he drops it. Here we go with another play. 3rd and 5. Is this where he breaks the pocket? This is the no-look pass. Watched him step up into the pocket. Now he's looking at the flat receiver. Look at the eyes, George. Right on that receiver. Watch where he throws. No look over the top. He knows exactly where his out.
If that was Patrick Mahomes, they'd be leading Sports Center with that play.
Exactly. The key is he squares his foot there.
Oh my God!
Squares his hips.
Look at the toe. It's unbelievable.
In terms of placement
this might be my favorite play of the game that no one's talking about except here. That right there, being able to square and make that play while looking and forcing those defenders. You know what that does, Dad? It's just like basketball. It's the no-look pass. You force your defenders to close in and open up the alley of where you're going to throw.
He wears a shield mask.
Yep.
And with that shield mask, you can't see his eyes. And when you're a defensive back, you're always looking at the eyes of the quarterback, not just the head, the eyes and the hands and the up, bringing the ball up.
Yes.
So if you're looking at him and you can see his eyes, you can tell if he's going to be looking over there. If you'll see the white of his eyes turn in that direction. And I'll tell you the truth, that's a real coaching point. But with that shield on, you can't see that.
And that makes it even harder. It makes what he did even better. Here's George.
It's better.
George drawing it up. He's giving you quarters coverage.
Yeah, so we've got 5 basically behind past the actual with the first down marker, and this is just the patience because he's got 3 receivers downfield.
That's a great line. Red hat duck. Oh, here he is, the quarterback.
A lot of meetings. So of course, getting the ball to the perimeter and trying to getting out of bounds to stop the clock, and just kind of getting field goal range. But the one that I guess hard at Justin, I was just rolling out and I saw him late last minute, so I dumped it up to him. And then the one to Jesse was a little check down just to get in field goal range. So I was just trying to, of course, pay attention to the clock and then also throw it to the perimeter so he would have a chance to get out of bounds.
So what did you see develop on your touchdown run?
On my touchdown run? I mean, yeah, they were playing man coverage. My man Jesse, he got tripped up. I was looking to go to him, and then of course, I know my routes were coming my way backside, but I knew they were man coverage, so I knew nobody really had me. So I just went to the left, and then saw everybody kind of
caught that.
Everybody covered. So
I knew they were in man coverage,
and then of course it was a touchdown. So
he knew the situation, Matthew. Tell him.
It was awesome. It was
situational
awesome.
awareness.
Come true. First NFL touchdown, and to have my teammates celebrate me was an awesome moment. So I'm all glory to God, and I'm just hopefully it was first of many. Sure.
The throwback pass to Jesse. So
yeah.
When you first saw it, did you sit there and go, "Are we sure this is open," or did you just let it play?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, when a person's that wide open, you have to make sure nobody's around him lingering. But I mean, of course, it was a great execution by the offensive line selling the run, and then of course, great execution by everybody else on the field. So it was a well drawn up play by coach. So.
I love what was it like in your first game adjusting to the NFL speed as opposed to college?
It was actually kind of slow to me, to be honest. I think, I was expecting it to be a little bit faster, but, practicing, game speed, going at it with my teammates every day. And, of course, we have a great defense. So me going against them every day,
I just love this kid. I'm
bit
sorry.
rude,
It's
so,
just like he's
I'll
answering
help
these
people out there, and,
questions like
I just,
A coach.
I love like a coach. Exactly. He's answering them like a coach would. Just simply, truthfully, articulately. It's
I
just.
think he just said you're good. I mean,
he said something going against his own defense is really, they don't get any better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
As
If you're going to get, all you have to do is say, this is their coverage to that defense, and they'll do it. And he's got to perform.
David, he's a great teammate. He's a great brother. So, I mean, it's no surprise to see him coming, try to come from me on the sideline and try
That's wonderful.
Keep my
it is.
So, he's a
I am so happy for you guys.
Coach Nagy said that he wants you to focus on today. That's important to him. How do you separate, I need to focus on today versus I want this starting job?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you look too far in the future, you start worrying about way too much stuff. You start
George,
thinking,
let Jackal handle the chat room. I could see him getting fired up with you already.
Look about today and just live. That was his main thing. Of course, him coming off that injury,
let me handle my job, he's saying. I could read his lips.
Every game like it was his
this
last
is
game,
TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network. This is Bears Hour Live preseason.
Go out there and
our quarterback,
just play for today,
Justin Fields.
Just,
if you want to hear his comments in full, you can go over to ChicagoBears.com if you're annoyed by us talking over it. But part of it we have to, and part of it is what we do.
So, so after that, I think I'm going to officially retire the spin move. So
smart move, kid. Phil, did you hear me live during that? I
yes.
Fucking ripped my TV off the wall.
When was the last time you heard a quarterback with a sense of humor?
Yeah,
he has a sense of humor. Exactly. We got a quarterback in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I just
breaking news.
Everybody on offense,
what's some more breaking news here, Phil?
But if we just stay on track, stay on schedule instead of putting ourselves in situations second and 12, second and 13. I mean, that's hard to be successful.
We went live breaking that news by one other than Shane.
Positive play.
The smartest man, Marsaw.
Chance to convert on third downs.
Oh my God!
Trying to get the guys.
What I saw from this young man today. Anybody bringing second stringers out and all that bullshit. Look at what he did to end the half. He got you in scoring range.
But
with all the drama, not playing with his starters and everything of that nature, you can't have it both ways, Block Boys. You just can't.
Of course, we had a great game today.
You play against the guys that are on the field with you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You want to see him against ones. I think we'll see him against ones next week.
Exactly.
Who they go against next week?
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Got a good defense.
Great defense.
Oh, you're talking about the fade where you jumped.
Trubisky's there.
Yeah, I just
Trubisky's their second
me and
quarterback.
We've had a great connection, in training camp, and of course,
Should
I trust him a lot.
You think it's going to be a story in Chicago? I don't know.
Threw it up there and gave him a chance. Of course, he made a great catch. So that was
defense better give him a good beating.
Oh, that would be.
Don't make him successful.
You know what? When you speak on that, don't forget to remind me about DHC making that interception.
As calm as can be today. So, I was just,
I think Jack was just leaving comments up to hide my face.
And really just win every play. And I think when you just focus on the moment, like
Gustavo, all the way
our whole point this week
in
was
Brazil.
Focus on today.
That's
on the
his
moment.
comment.
I was just trying to take it play by play.
Shout out to you, Gustavo. Bears Hour Live is back.
Take every play by play. Don't worry about the next play. Worry about this play. And we'll just keep stacking like that.
Justin, the atmosphere is different. Obviously, training camp, Family Fest. How did you feel about this first NFL training?
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
nice. All the way from Brazil?
All the way in Brazil.
Okay, Gustavo. Nice to see you.
Shane, have you seen the water bottle once yet?
A better day. The weather was great outside. And
have you seen the water bottle once yet?
Of course, our team was excited, and I think our team played well.
Everybody.
Thanks.
He hasn't called his mother to see what's for dinner.
Yeah, I see that.
You guys don't know. My dad's a Patriot fan, and he saw me in turmoil for my whole life with the quarterback position in Chicago.
Before, but of course,
so this is monumental because if my dad has always said
from the Clemson game, so
guys you don't have a quarterback.
But yeah, I mean it's awesome.
If you go back to BHL with Shane and my dad, I'm sorry, Trubisky's not a franchise quarterback.
I don't think I've ever seen this. This level of, I mean, he's.
This is Michael Jordan-esque right here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just ice
cold.
Is he got a girlfriend? Is he married? What's the story?
He's got a puppy. That's all he's got. He's got
to
a
be
dog.
honest, we're not worried about.
That's the only thing that'll ruin this guy.
I think he has a few
Keep the
offers,
girls
Coach.
away from him.
What?
We're not worried about outside voices who want to.
The cheap girls, okay.
No girls for this guy. We need
working and
Justin
all keep getting better. So
focused.
Of course, there's outside voices, but I mean,
some say there's a lot of truth to what my dad is
on inside the building, and of course, you know, me
Charles
and
Leno.
we all have a great relationship, and of course, those guys have taught me a lot.
You got to find a good girl. That's the key.
That's all of your teammates have kind of found out your points. I think I see it most.
Too young.
Yeah.
Got a lot of life to live. This kid.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel good outside of the pocket. I feel very comfortable, but I mean,
Cherie's comment.
Like today, I think there was one situation.
That's what I mean. Everybody's going to go after this guy for the money.
Well, not Cherie. She's not a gold digger.
Well, I don't know.
No, that's our girl.
Okay.
He's our.
Kind of really just play
Look
backyard
at Taylor
football
Gabriel.
and
Justin feels so calm back there.
The more that happens,
read the rest.
The more we can get on the same page. You know,
boy is going to be a top 10 soon. Look at that.
The better we can be, and of course, I
Look at LeBron James. Justin Fields is so special, man. Keep going, young king.
I mean, it's definitely a part of my game.
Chicago Bulls. We see you, Justin Fields.
How much stress
this is
great. Those backyard football situations put on another defense? It seems like it gives you a lot of control.
This kid is so calm answering these questions.
When the team's playing man defense, I mean, that's going to put a lot of stress on him.
He's knowledgeable too. He's so confident.
Oh yeah.
You know, with zone teams, it's a little bit different, but man,
I mean, no different to what you see on the field, though. He's just poised. He's just ready for it.
So without seeing the film, you already
Taylor
know
Gabriel coming out of retirement for this.
Too right. Brandon Marshall's calling Coach Nagy.
Tell him, Cam.
I don't think there was one, major play in the game where, I would say I have to get better at. But of course, the fumble we have to take care of the ball. But other
You
than
see that he's pissed off about that spin
move tonight, and
should be.
Coach is going to watch the film, and I know he's going to.
So I told you my favorite play was probably the no look.
Yeah.
I'm all in on
But
getting better.
there's a play that was like
I want to be the best I can
a
be, so
first
I'm gonna do
down
whatever
where he
I have to do to
is
beat that
sprinting
guy.
to the line of scrimmage and he forces
throws
the
it.
defense and then lobs it
Flip
over.
it over the guy.
That is the most frustrating part of what he's going to do to
Well,
other
so
teams.
he's such a threat that you have to come up.
Exactly.
You have to. These guys too fast.
He's got street football in him. I was joking on Sean Sierra's show, Dad, that every Chicago Bears quarterback that we've got has never played on the cement with the fucking Cadillac and the Buick as landmarks that you got to watch out for. Everyone, you know what I'm saying? This kid has. You could see it. He's understanding how to drop the ball, where his field position
Where is he
is.
from? I know he went to Ohio State, but where's his
I feel like it helped
hometown?
for sure.
He's in Ohio,
just
right?
kind of seeing their defense and getting a feel
You
for
know what?
how their players
I
play
totally
and stuff like
don't
that.
know.
But,
I figured
me, it's
Shane
just
might
like,
know.
For me, I think
What was it?
every day
Where
matters. Like,
was
I'm
Justin
literally trying
Fields
to
from?
take it day by
Where
day.
did he
Georgia.
Georgia.
I know it's a nonstop.
That's why he
grind.
went to
I'm
UGA
just gonna
first, and then he
continue to,
transferred.
study, continue to
There it is. Adeptus and Kevin Wood and Irish Rastafarian and Taurine, my boy.
better, and that way we can
Where
be
is
the best
he?
team we can be.
Taurin.
How do you feel physically?
I gotta shout him out.
I feel good.
Taurin
I got hit
Whitfield.
one time, so I feel
First
good.
one
I
on
feel
that.
good.
Give you your
Appreciate you
shout.
guys.
Justin Fields,
Wow.
the quarterback. The quarterback is getting applause from my father. I've never seen
Adam
that.
Hogue is like, we were so close to Kellen Mond. He was really higher.
I'll tell you, Rick.
Oh my
one of the
God.
I'm
players-
just so
one of the
happy
players-
to see that kid be so articulate
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
afraid in front of the world. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. He's had the cameras on him with Trevor Lawrence
life, yeah.
since he was a kid. So to think about this, and to George Berlissimo's point, every time, and Shane, I got to give them both credit, every time this kid has been faced off with Trevor Lawrence, he's beating him. He's beating him. And this has got to be exciting for Bears fans because you finally have a quarterback in Chicago that handles the press conference correctly, handles the blitz correctly, handles the composure in the pocket. I mean, I don't think these blog boys will ever fucking get it, and I'm not going to try to convince anybody. But please understand that the play that George put up where he threw it and hits Jesse James or whatever, he's just standing there with pressure and people falling all around him, and it's not bigger than him. It's not. Nothing's bothering him. And that, to me, on top of all the highlights, of all of it,
guys,
the story is Justin Fields.
I've got a dip in a minute, but I mean, I've got sort of 3 or 4 plays if you want me to, and then you got looks like Braggs sort of sat waiting.
Yeah, we're gonna get Greg Braggs and Alex Acevedo coming up next. Go through this. We'll go 2 more plays. 2 plays, George, because we got a half hour left for Shane. I could stay on a little bit longer.
This is one of the plays that Fields himself referenced, which is the one to Jesse James at the end of the second quarter. See, he's waiting. So that's the 7 in coverage.
This is the play I'm talking about, the composure. Watch this.
Yeah, just sit and wait. There's the pressure on the outside. Good work by Bars to wash him out. Looks down, just puts it out there. That's the one before, isn't it? It's the
one before. But you could see he's understanding awareness where the sticks are. You don't have, those haters that are saying, yeah, I had one on Facebook, former player of ours, Chris Roble, saying, well, he ain't going to be able to do that, running it into the end zone and dip his pad. Oh, he's 6'4", 234 pounds. He can do that. He will do that, but he'll also do what George just put up on the screen there. He just showed you that he can attack the line of scrimmage, know where his outlet is, and deliver. Go ahead, George. Here he is, 7-step.
I like this, and just we're watching Justin Fields, but I'd just like to look at this guy as well.
Is that my guy?
That's Bars.
Oh, that's Alex Bars. Look at Bars growing up before our eyes.
That's looking for some work there. So you gotta love that.
That's a hit on him.
Yes.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
That's nice. Good catch there, George. I love it.
Yeah, looking for some work.
Just spun around. He got it right in the jaw.
You talk about throwing a fastball. I mean, just in sort of a little bit wide there, but
this is before the half.
Yeah, that for the field goal.
This is getting you in field goal range.
2 seconds left on the clock. I mean, you talk about composure and poise.
Listen, I want to give a shout out while you're getting to the next play to Ryan Pace, because listen to this, Shane. Jesse James, Alec Ogletree, and now Peters all signed as you set your deck for the season. Those 3, Alec Ogletree is probably the star of the defense today. We haven't even gotten to defense yet. That's why I was like, we might need a little bit more time because we got to talk about this defense. Let's run through this play again. Yeah, so those 3 signings right now, Ogletree, the big tight end Jesse James, and now this big left tackle coming in here. Go ahead.
The touchdown Justin Fields mentioned when he's talking about one high safety. This is where he's seeing one high safety looking left of the field. But what you see is Artavis Pierce coming out, linebacker trailing. You see Newsom coming across, DB in coverage. He knows he's got man to the backside, definitely. Mm-hmm. He knows it's only one high. So what does he do? He's looking
feel
right
it,
all
George.
the way. He's looking right all the way. He's waiting.
Waiting
you see
for the
Jesse
shallow
James
cross.
stumble.
Look at this guy, number 70 on your left.
Yes.
Just take a look at his technique. He's not that bad. Let me tell you. He's not that bad. He didn't give him away. Look.
Now
he could have gotten sacked.
Now he's going to go to the inside. He pushes him away.
Panic. Look at that spin.
Look at the quarterback. Stays with it. You stayed with your block, 70. Good job.
He's pointing to Riley Ridley here.
Leno.
Outside, escape drill.
Hey, Leno. Did you see that?
Now he's attacking to the point. He could have just sprinted and hit the cone. But I just think he's the competitor. And is like, you know what? I'm not taking a chance.
No, he would have taken a shot if he comes.
Exactly. I want to fucking score. Yeah, so I don't know what anybody's talking about here.
He would have scored, but he would have taken a shot from 23.
Exactly, Coach. Because of the speed of the pursuit, what it does is just straightens him up to take all the speed out of him.
Now, guys, if you're not a patron, this is the stuff you're seeing George do. Me, X's with the O's, me and my father, probably will be every Saturday will be going and looking at the previous game, me, Barlissimo, and my dad.
Don't forget about George. George
De Leon is going to be joining us, offensive coordinator, NFL offensive line coach.
Yes!
We have a bunch of guests that are going to be happening. But let's go through this, and I'll run the promo for that in a second, George, because I know you got to bounce. So
last one
for him, he's going into the pocket. This is what he's known for, and people are going to get like a narrative that he's a running quarterback. Well, that's what Steve Young was. Steve Young then became a passing quarterback. That's what the best and the great ones do. They're able to attack you with their feet. And in this modern day NFL, if you can't run and move, then you're trapped into one ability, and you better be as accurate as possible. The fact that this guy's 6'4", 235 pounds, and could do this kind of stuff is just a nightmare for a defensive coordinator, as you saw it play itself out. And as the game went on, you just saw the poise and the composure. Here we go. Last play for George.
So you see, it looks like it's man to start off with, but it's actually half field zone. I think it's cover 6.
Yeah, because he switches off and plays back over the top.
Yeah, so they're doing a 1 high, 1 low versus the stack, which is here. So 1 high, 1 low versus a stack. I think this is actually the throw. Yeah, there's Jesse James there. Here's the play action.
This might be it. The TD. Where he presses against. Oh, this is the touchdown.
62 pills round. Yeah, 62 pills round. There's the boot action. There's
tight end cross. He's sneaking out right there. There you go.
There's number 7. You're blocking that guy.
The guy has to play flat. This is the whole design of this play.
That's the point.
Trick that backside guy.
He's looking there.
If he goes with the tight end, then you throw the little flare route.
Right.
Look at Justin. See it? He looked at the flare route, Dad. Go back a little bit. Watch this. This is why he's so open. This is perfect, George. Watch. Peek to the flare.
There.
Oh, my God.
That's a tough play to cover.
Oh, my God. It's tough.
Now he's able. In terms of fundamentals, you like that front foot. You like that back foot with all of his studs in the ground.
Beautiful. And then it just obviously the play design is great because it puts that one defender that can cover the tight end on an island. That's what you want to do. That's great stuff.
Let's see a 6'7", 270-pound man do a little bit of a moonwalk. There you go.
Yeah. He just backs up into the end zone, and there you go. That's Justin Fields. Hopefully you guys could tune in this week. If you aren't a patron, you need to become one before we get to Greg and...
Ladies and gentlemen, class is now in session. X's with the O's.
Feels the same way. This guy's tremendous back. I mean, I don't know that anybody's better than him in the whole league.
I honestly,
if you use him properly, my goodness.
That's the biggest indictment on the coach.
Yep.
We get into this. If you use this guy more, he becomes a household name because he is your offense. You've heard me say it. That's why all these people have found the Tape Never Lies from the video series.
I'm a patron.
Go there. Become a patron. Absolutely. What are you waiting for? What are you doing?
Head over to thetapeneverlies.com.
This is the stuff that you get. Right there's a little clip of what you will be getting. And today, George, my dad, and Shane, the smartest man, George breaking it down live like nobody else is out there doing that, showing you the coverages, showing you the patterns and everything involved. That's what the Tape Never Lies is. Obviously, not every week are we going to be breaking it down like this on this show. We'll be doing it, though, on X's with the O's every Saturday. Me, my dad, and Barlissimo. I'll go back to the Barlissimo.
He's got to go, huh?
He's got to go. So do you have a final thought before we let you go? And then we bring in your boy, your Thunder buddy, as you call him.
Captain
I've been watching the Bears since sort of 83, 84, and I've never seen this in terms of as early as we are in this process with Justin Fields, I've never seen the rate of progress with a QB, the rate of development. I've never seen the poise. I've never seen the sort of the way that he is in just in press conferences. His ability, his speed, his athleticism, his mental acumen. Mm-hmm. He really has just everything you could possibly want. And my concern, and it showed up in the first half, is Nagy is going to Nagy. And that's going to be the thing that holds back Justin Fields' development, if anything, because to me, I mean, this kid is showing that he's QB1 in this draft so far. Exactly. I mean, you can only judge them based upon what they've done so far, but so far he's everything we thought that he might be and more. I'm absolutely hyped. And yeah, it's early days. There's a long way to go for him, but his rate of progress so far and the way that he's developing before our eyes is just unreal. So enjoy it, Bears fans, because I am.
Unbelievable, George. Great job today. TTNL patron halftime, and then again here on Bears Hour Live, the #1 post-game show when it comes to the Chicago Bears. Not even close. No one out there is even close. Speaking of who's not close, I don't even know if Indiana is Chicago or Chicago's Indiana, but we're going to figure that out with this guy right there. Two of our guys. Can we hear them? They're in their car, Dad. One, Greg Braggs, Alex Acevedo, Mitch Trubisky, and Nick Foles. There they are. We can't hear you guys. Can we hear you? Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Love you, Ice.
Yeah, see you, George. Thanks, man.
All right, George. We love you.
Come on, George. I'll see you next Saturday.
See you, Coach.
George is the beast. Keeping it 100 Wednesday night. George is telling you. Love George.
Shane, are you leaving too?
No, not yet. You can't. Okay. Not getting rid of me yet, Coach.
We got Greg Braggs and Alex Acevedo. You guys were live there. Greg, yes, no one freaking captures moments like you.
Look at the road. Look at the road. Don't look at us.
My dad, he's at a light. He's at a light.
Love you, Coach. Hey, this is better than me tweet. Normally, I'm tweeting while I'm driving, so podcasting gotta be nothing.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus.
You're like my son. My goodness.
No, I don't do.
What's your license plate number so we can broadcast that?
Yeah, no, I better not jinx myself. Famous last words.
Yes, Greg. You captured the first touchdown, but what was the atmosphere like there?
And it's not 10:30. Get that food out of your mouth.
I'm sorry. I'm eating some beef jerky. I'm working on an empty stomach. I've been doing a lot of running. Acevedo will tell you. I was up and down that stadium today.
Let me tell you something. This dude works. Wow. He had me sprinting like I was back in freshman football doing the drills. Let's go, Acevedo.
Yeah, at one point, I'm at one end of the field, and they start to move down before the first touchdown. Fields made a few throws, and I'm booking it to the other end zone where our tickets were. And I know they're getting ready to get into the red zone, so I'm trying to get back behind the end zone so I can get a good shot of the touchdown. I knew it was coming. And Samir and Acevedo and Steven were all kind of buckled up under the concourse where there was some shade, and I come blowing past them, and I'm like, Acevedo, hold my bag. And it was just so electrifying. You could kind of feel it. You know, they kind of got some stuff together before the end of the first half, and I had a feeling he was going to break out and make some throws. You know, as you know, the Dolphins defensive players started to come off. He started to get into second and third string dudes, and Fields has been comfortable with these guys, you know, at practice. So it's not like he doesn't have a familiarity with some of these unknown receivers like Rodney Adams and things like that. So, you know, I knew it was coming. And when he scored, he comes out of the pocket. It was just such a thing of beauty to see, a great debut. It was just a completely lit atmosphere, electric, you know, and people are just excited. It was just so frustrating in the first half, not being able to get anything going, and then to see them kind of break out, it would have been really disappointing if they hadn't done that, leaving the stadium today. But Justin Fields did not disappoint. It was as exciting as it gets. And I got to say, the touchdowns were great. Obviously, a lot of fun to see. But probably my favorite play of his of the day was right before the first touchdown. You know, he makes that deep ball throw to Rodney Adams, probably a better catch than a throw coming over the guy's shoulder. But then the next play, he gets a first down. He scrambles out of the pocket to the right, and he dekes the defense into thinking he's going to run. Picks it, keeps his eyes downfield, and hits the receiver for a first down. That's big time quarterback play. That for me was probably my outside of the touchdowns. Obviously, was my favorite play of the day from Justin Fields.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's showcasing that this kid is beyond what we've ever seen at quarterback from a rookie. Obviously, from a rookie to press like that. My favorite play was the no look pass to number 6, Hardy. He's looking in the flat and just fucking dime balls out of a flick of the wrist. The arm strength, the athleticism, but really watching his press conference is like the cherry on top because he's so articulate, calm, cool, and loves the game of football and loves the position. That's all you could see there. And like my dad said, I've never seen my dad applaud after a press conference, but today was a first, especially a Bears one, to be that excited about Justin Fields. We also have our guy, Ronnie G. Ron G, the producer out there at Soldier Field. You were there today, Ron.
Yeah.
How was the vibe for you?
The vibe, the crowd could have done better, I think. But it seemed like they came out with a little bit of rust, a little bit off time.
Yeah.
But then it seemed that they worked it out. It was good to see. It was good to see some good plays. Good to see bouncing back from some bad plays.
Yeah.
They had a good crowd, but you know, it seemed like everybody was kind of tame for a while there. But nice to virtually meet most of you guys, by the way.
Ronnie G.
Ronnie
G is our producer here, producing
Jerry
all of
Angelo,
these.
right?
He looks like Jerry Angelo. He does.
Oh no!
Is he on a rotary phone?
I'm sorry, guys. I wouldn't make those bad moves. That's for sure. I've been called better and worse, but I guess I'll take it.
Well, you're our guy. You could turn your camera, Ronnie, sideways. It gives a better look. He's
Turn
wearing
your
his
phone horizontal.
Horizontal. Put your phone horizontal.
Right,
there you go.
There you go. We got a better picture.
Why don't you show us the nipple?
Now you look like Betty White, Ronnie. It's
Don't
much better.
show any nipples like Greg Braggs. Don't listen to him.
Hey, send me the invoice for that upgrade. I hope I can afford it.
So the vibe, the energy in the stadium, both of you and Ronnie and Alex were all capturing the moments. Nobody does it better than Greg, though. And it's just an amazing – I don't know how he sits in the right spot, he feels it. Now Aceveto's giving away your secrets. You're sprinting around there, getting ready to get in
Well,
position.
Greg, I have a question for you. Was your partner on time today?
No, Acevedo was 20 minutes late to my house.
Oh, Jesus.
He was melting down, Alex.
He said because he had to take a poop. I had to stop and take a piss. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom before I hit the start with him.
Oh my God!
He went and pooped at a gas station. No, I went and pissed.
The whole TTNL family was late today. We have video. We have video footage of Cool Kennedy being late. Caden Whitlow, our other producer, was late.
Early.
So what time do you guys have to start to get to that ballpark?
Yeah.
That traffic must be unbelievable.
Yeah, he wants to know, Greg,
Well,
what time?
It's a secret I kind of learned a few years ago. Once I started to amp up the coverage, and I've always been someone that enjoys trying to get an autograph, although they're not allowing that anymore. They had actual NFL representatives at the stadium watching and reminding the players to not interact with the fans, do not high five them, do not autograph, do not take pictures with them. And if they do, they'll get a fine and a potential lost draft pick if they do it without listening. And so, for people that get to the stadium early, that's kind of why they're there. Now, obviously, I'm there to get the shots of the players coming out. And, it's fairly easy because most fans are not going in right away. They're going to be out there to tailgate to get every last drop of alcohol in their system before kickoff. So you'll have, how I used to go into the game was 10 minutes before kickoff, you get in line and you're waiting for it. There's a huge ass line that starts to form because everybody tries to get in at the last minute. Nobody really goes in right when the gates open. The only year they did was the year they were giving out bobbleheads, and they're not anymore. So for the most part, it's pretty scarce when you go in there. I mean, there's not even ushers at the aisles. So you're able to kind of walk around freely. Most people don't know to go over by the tunnel. And, the players are kind of filtering out for early warm-ups. There's early warm-ups, and there's the second warm-up that's like right before the game when they get their jerseys on. And then they go back in, and then they come out for introduction. So there's about 3 different times that the players come in and out. And like in a non-COVID year, you'll have players stop and sign autographs. Khalil Mack, if you have his jersey, he'll sign it all day long. But like I said, they're not allowed to interact this year. So it's more about just trying to get the shots and things of that nature. And so, yeah, it's fairly easy. You just got to get in there right when the gates open and then make your way around.
He wants to know more. Yeah, he wants to know about the traffic, Greg.
Traffic. Getting
what
to
time
the
do you got to get there?
Oh, I mean, that's easy too. I mean, as Shane and Phil know, I live in the Chicagoland area. So, it's actually only a 30-minute, 35-minute drive, depending on how fast I'm driving to get to the stadium. So I was actually around some Chicagoans. I meant to get a video of it, but they admitted that the region is Chicago too. I missed out on getting that video for you guys. I was really disappointed.
I don't know where Cherie is to rule on this, but yes.
It's real easy. Nobody's out on a Saturday or Sunday morning. You can either take the toll road or you take I-94, go past White Sox Stadium. So real easy drive in the morning. Maybe a little trickier.
So what time a 12 o'clock game? So on the East Coast, it's always 1 o'clock. Greg, to help all our network people that were late, what time should they drive out of their house to get there into the city? You park in
depending on where you're getting. You want to,
huh?
If you're in the central time zone, you're coming to the game.
Yep.
The lots open at 8 a.m. depending on what lot you're in.
You got to get there at that time.
You want to be there at 7:30 a.m.
There
because
you go.
They'll start forming a line with the cars to get into the lots.
There you
go. I
That's
personally park in
what
the
I
Foreman
wanted.
garage.
That's the key right there.
Wow.
Ronnie G was late. Caden Whitlow was late, but he was coming from Iowa. We saw him pop on. Ronnie, you had a hard time getting into the game, right?
Oh, man, it was a parking shit show. I'll put it that way.
There you go.
You got to try to be ahead of that. That's the key. And that's why I was trying to tell you guys in regards to the upcoming tailgate meetup for the Bears-Packers game.
Yep.
They're doing up right. There's unofficial, like South Lot and Waldron Deck are official lots. So they don't open until 8 a.m. So you're really getting parked and set up at like 8:20 if you're lucky, depending on how far down the line you are in.
Man,
and then, like I said, the gates open at 10 a.m. People start going in.
We're losing them.
It's very limited. You're marking an official.
You're out of range.
We're out of range. We'll get them back in.
I must say something. Sorry, guys, to interrupt.
Stay back, Ronnie.
That was the longest answer I've ever heard in my life. Come on, dude. You guys put the question, and it was like 60 minutes later,
That's what Mandy said.
Have you ever listened to a show with Phil Toshin Jr.?
That was his. He's making fun of Greg Bragg.
Well, I'm going to make Ronnie G in the Stands as a new show, and it's going to be part of,
Greg, you were breaking
I'll
up.
answer your questions like right away.
There you go.
What?
Listen, I just want to know, Ronnie.
If I was you, the Wabash and Kermack,
he's still
you guys
going.
it's a lot.
Jesus Christ.
I can't make it up to my chart.
Caden Whitlow.
He's still going.
You have entered the chat room.
Caden Whitlow, you got there late as well. You missed the opening kick. You weren't listening to the Bragg's rules. 7:30. He's also in the car.
Bragg's did share it with me.
In the garage.
Yeah. Bragg's didn't share it with you. So all of our TTNL family were late. You and your dad, though, did you guys have a great time?
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good atmosphere, especially when Justin came in.
Yeah, you could feel the energy out there when Justin Fields came in. Ronnie, you followed this team for your whole life. When Justin Fields got in there, you must have been excited. The energy kicked it up a notch.
I just knew he was coming on the field before, so I got a nice video clip of that, and I got I'd say about 30 plays total.
So Ronnie G is going to be putting together some great promos. He's going to battle Greg Braggs to get some promos for TTNL this week, leading up to keeping it 100 on Wednesday night. Guys, I want to get into the defense, so I wanted to Ronnie, give you one last thing. Leave us with something that you took away from today, because we're going to wrap up this show in a little bit. Is there one thing that stood out?
Well, since the number ones weren't basically playing that much, I guess they did all right in general. Some missed tackles, some missed plays here and there, but I guess that's what preseason's all about, and the real question is if they learned something from it or not.
That's exact. Well said.
Great job.
Great job. Great job, Ron. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. I'm almost out of thing. Send positive vibes. They closed the garage where my car is, so hopefully somebody's gonna come and open it for me. They said they're on their way, so let's see.
Oh my God!
I gotta wait Monday to get it, and I know what that's gonna look like.
Exactly. You got to listen to Greg. We should have had him on.
All right, bye, guys. I'll talk
Ron. Ron G in the parking. Remember Jim Larison when we first met him, Greg? He had to run back to get his car before. That was against Tampa with Mitch's. Anyway, Greg, thank you so much for jumping on with us. Your final thoughts, really, because I want to obviously your signal's breaking up, so I don't know if we could get to it.
Maybe if you put the phone up on top of your mouth like Ron G did, it might be better. We got to bust his balls.
Ron is a good sport with it. Ron G is our producer, our new producer. You see a lot of these new thumbnail photos as well as the video I just put up with X's with the O's. And again, a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I got thrown out.
We blame Greg for that, Dad. Greg for that.
Greg wanted to block you from the chat room so he could talk about his experience.
Talk about me.
Take the Dan Ryan and then
take the Dan Ryan. Oh, it sucks that your signals.
I can only lead the horse to the water. I can't make you drink.
There you go. We heard that. What's your final thoughts, Greg?
Alex Acevedo's first time ever being at Soldier Field, and it was a successful one. Got to see the future of this franchise, put on a show, electrify the crowd. First time being at Soldier Field in 2 years for a game. Just a great feeling, people high-fiving and coming together. That's what it's all about. That's why I go to the games. That's what being in the stands is all about. So, it's exciting. It's the first step of many for a young Justin Fields. Obviously there was some positives all over the place, but the focus is Justin. There's no denying that. The run down the sidelines, like I said, that deke out, when he's escaping the pocket to the defense, and obviously the 2 touchdowns, as good as it gets. So, this is what we all came for. I'll be in Vegas next weekend, so I won't be at the game, unfortunately, but so I wanted to make sure I got as much out of it as I could, and I certainly did. We certainly did that.
My dad doesn't even know how much he gets around.
Unbelievable.
He's at all the games.
No,
He's at all the practices, Dan.
Fun day of coverage. I hope you guys enjoyed everything that me and Acevedo brought pre-game, during the game, and everything else. There'll be plenty more to come this season. And yeah, let's just keep it rolling, man. Fucking bear down all day long.
There you go. Greg, thank you so much for everything you do. Giving Alex Acevedo, our boy, the swag man, part producer. You're finally clear. Alex, now that you're clear, it cleared up. What was it like, Alex? Leave us with some final thoughts. Your first time at Soldier Field, representing TTNL and everything.
My throat's killing me, screaming. I've never been, but watching Justin Fields come out and feel the energy and the goosebumps, and it was unreal. And he made it look. He looks natural. Trubisky never looked like that. He looks like he belongs. And I'm just so excited for the future of this team, and I can't wait to get back at Soldier Field with my man Greg Braggs.
There
you can literally see the goosebumps.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Greg, we'll talk to you Wednesday, hopefully, on Keeping It 100, America's best, actually the best Bears show on the planet. There you go. Greg Braggs.
Oh, yeah, one more word, too.
Yes.
And Chris Jackal, go fuck yourself, all right? That's my final word for the day.
Chris, you are allowed to retort that.
Hey, there's not much I can say to Mr. Braggs.
I didn't know he was here.
Hey, that's typical if you talking shit about somebody when they're not around. So I figured you'd run your mouth when you didn't think I was here, you fucking piece of shit. Why don't you go spend some time with your family, you ass hat?
Why don't you go read one of those books?
Greg, shut up. Your material's old and dry. Just like, never mind.
You got a pool to go clean after this.
Greg's got a new pool. He's going to dive in the pool.
No, I wasn't talking about his.
Oh, okay. There's Greg Braggs. We got Chris Jackal. Let's talk and finish it up. Thanks, guys. Those guys are awesome, and we love them. Let's coaches getting himself
cracking. I'm getting loose.
Getting loose. Let's finish this off, though. Talk a little bit about the defense and then wrap this sucker up real quick. I honestly, Tonga, Angelo Blackson, and Alec Ogletree, number 44, has been steel. This guy is going to make
You get a defensive lineman with the talent of Tonga in the 7th round, damn near the very last pick of the draft.
Oh,
that is so impressive. I mean, this kid's going to be, like I said, I'm a huge Eddie Goldman fan, but when you're a veteran and you're out, COVID protocol for whatever, the reason was, when you see a younger guy going out there and making plays, it's funny how you get your ass off the couch and get back to work real quick. And you see that. I mean, that's a real thing.
Competition always makes us work harder.
That's what the coach said when he's bringing in. Yes, we broke the news right when we started this show. The Bears have signed offensive tackle veteran Mr. Peters. This guy, obviously, there's questions all around in regards to Tevin Jenkins, but this right here is going to alleviate that because this is a veteran that's skilled at what? But that's that story. We're going to continue through. The Tevin Jenkins story just begins. Yeah. He could be hurt more than anybody was saying, or they could be bringing in what Coach Nagy said, competition. That's what this is about. So when you look at this roster, Berlissimo listed it, Snowden, Edwards Jr., Pennell, Blackson. You didn't have Eddie Goldman out there. Akeem Hicks played a couple plays. That's it. Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn only played a little bit. And Danny T and Roquan Smith didn't play a snap. So to see this defense flowing and I'm just telling you, Alec Ogletree and Tonga and Blackson, just off the first look and feel of watching it. And yeah, Mike Pennell near the end and stuff, but those guys early on just got to excite you. as well as my boy 22, Kendall Vildor. This week, we'll be breaking all this stuff down on our patron side. My father, X's with the O's, one night this week. We got to schedule it, Dad, early, like 5 o'clock with George, or 4 o'clock with George one day this week. We'll be going live on the patron side. So George will be breaking, like you saw earlier, and the X's with the O, all of that stuff, breaking down some of the guys and highlighting some of the players that are getting overlooked. But Shane, that story about Robert Quinn, it's the first time I heard it. So it just lucks into something.
Sometimes you stumble into success. I mean, it's not just football. It happens in life, every facet of life. And it's just one of those things. And he may have a home for, the foreseeable future, because Danny T is a veteran that has a very long injury history.
Yes.
I mean, when you look into that book, it's quite thick. And beyond them, you think about where they came from. I mean, Josh Woods, big friend of TTNL Network, love the guy. Is he ready to play big time snaps in the NFL level at inside linebacker? No. Iggy Abunaway? No.
Yeah.
And so Ogletree is a guy that I think Zach Pearson spoke on it when we first brought him in. It seems like he's been in the NFL for 17 years and he's not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
And
he's not even 30.
You get these veterans that are out there, and don't forget, when you bring a guy like that in, it's usually a 1-year deal or a 1-year deal and the team option. He still wants to get paid. You saw Kevin Pierre-Louis come to Chicago and do his thing, and he got some guaranteed money. And Alec Ogletree is no different.
You gotta love.
Don't count the young guys out. All these they get better each week. I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, that's what we're going to be watching, Dad.
You can ask Phil. Every year we had spring practice, and our freshmen came. We counted on 5 sophomores to start for us somewhere, and it always happened because our teams weren't large. We didn't have large teams. Those they could play, but they came to spring practice, which was a real plus for us. And then they went through the scrimmages just like everybody else. And I played every one of them.
That's where the growth is going to come. That's why next week is going to be very telling how these guys transfer, what they did here. Obviously, the disappointing players we'll be talking about on Keep It at 100 in our Bear Up, Bear Down. It's no secret, though. Javon Wims was somebody that really took another step in the direction of off the roster. Shane is ready to cut him today.
First quarter he was.
Yeah. Well, he said it again in post.
Well,
and I don't think
that's the thing. Olin Kreutz sent out a tweet, and it's funny, but it's also very honest and smart, talking about the quarterback position. The best thing that Ryan Pace could do right now, listen, the only thing that Nick Foles can do is to hurt whatever trade value he has. So if I'm Ryan Pace, I'm on the phone signing some sort of a young quarterback. So when you get past Justin Fields in these later preseason games, you have another young guy out there getting valuable. I don't need to see Nick Foles out there. He goes out there and gets injured. You're not even going to flip him for a 7th or a conditional 6th or whatever. And it's the same thing with Javon Wims. Javon Wims has shown lack of discipline, and then he shows up on the biggest stage and drops a touchdown on third down in a playoff game. And then you saw him today.
False start. He jumped too early on the perfect throw.
3 seconds too early.
The ball was 10 yards away and he was jumping.
Oh my God.
That tells you that the kid is swimming. That tells you that there's a lot going on in his head.
Good point, Shane.
And he knows that his livelihood in the NFL isn't for long. And that's what it is. But hey, this is a next man up league. And a guy like Rodney Adams going out there and making a play today. Yeah. That's a lot of times that's what these guys need. They just need a chance.
Well, there's a lot of forgiving. When a guy has potential. All those guys that are in camp are great players. I got to tell you right now, they're great players. Just gotta wait another week. If this continues, like the offside in practice, and now listen to this one. You got a guy back returning punts, right?
Yeah.
Believe me, this is one of the hardest things. I used to get every guy on a team and put the football machine up in the air and let them catch him and find out who can catch the ball, because there are so many bounces that should be avoided. You should punt. Don't let the ball bounce.
Right.
And I get sick and tired of seeing that in the pro game, in college football. Catch the ball. You know why? Because the guy. But you get a guy that's steady. I had my quarterback in was it 95, Cliff Hill.
Yep.
And he, right? I had no fear. He caught the ball.
Yeah,
that's all. You don't want to run back.
You're looking
you don't want to run back.
You're looking at punt returners and special teams blunders today. That's something we got to watch. How do they play next week?
They will be 100% better. I guarantee you that, because either the guy who's coaching them is going to be fired. Let me tell you something. Every kicking team, and I coach kicking team my whole life, ever since I was an assistant coach all the way to the head coach. You know it, Phil. I am the special teams coach on everything, the lanes, everything that they cover. And you got to get speed on that team. You can't get guys, and you got to get guys if you got them.
Gotta have toughness.
Tough.
Out there today,
where all your linebackers are.
That's where they are. lot of booming kicks, but terrible coverage.
Yeah, it's a great
going down the field. Everybody's going out of their lanes. There's a lot of stuff happening on special teams that we want to see improve, and we will be breaking down that next week. And obviously, this week, Wednesday night, we'll have a surprise. We'll have a guest on with us. I'm sure Greg and Alex and a cool Kennedy, who wasn't able to come on. We saw a lot of different things. If we're breaking this down, go over to www.thetapeneverlies.com, become a patron. This week, we'll be keeping it 100 on Wednesday. We'll be doing X's with the O's on a different day this week. So this is some of the taste of what you get.
Projected to be at 20 for the Bears.
Exactly, Greg.
Oh my God!
This is great.
I am in heaven!
What world?
Purchase your tracks today.
I'd trade my kid for a quarterback right now.
This is Claudia the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports. Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up. Yes! What? Here it is!
There was something else going on with this team, because I love football. I play football. I'm a lineman, so I have a different perspective of the game.
There it is. Keeping it 100, TTNL, all of the vibes, all of everything that goes into the offseason, culminating to now. The Bears have under their belt, Justin Fields under his belt, the first preseason game, and you're going to have narratives, you're going to have opinions, and then there's going to be the tape. And as that goes, the tape never lies on this network. We will stand by that and go from there and destroy all of the blog boys, it was against second stringers, all of that bullshit and minutia of trying to tear someone down. In this world, that's all I see is people trying to tear things down. Well, we're trying to build things up and build the greatest game in the whole entire world to the epicenter of where it should be for Chicago Bears fans, and that's finally with a franchise signal caller. Today was just the first page in a story. And today I came away with my friends and people that I trust so much, including my own father, saying, this quarterback, this team is full of talent, but this quarterback, now you finally have one. And again, it's just a peek behind the curtain. This is the first story. And I'll tell you what, I saw the first story of Eli Manning. I saw the first story of Peyton Manning. I saw the first story of Drew Brees. And I saw the first story of Drew Bledsoe, Troy Aikman, and down the line.
How about Brady?
Chicago Bears have never had their first story. Their first story has always been written before it even started. It's of negativity and bullshit. Today, I saw a quarterback not only handle the football field well, but he also handled the presser well. So I leave you with those thoughts so you can then take those and run, let the trolls run. But I think it goes back to where this offseason began for one smartest man. We didn't know where this football team, we wanted the coaches gone. We wanted the GM gone. And then they threw this screwball at us on draft day and they answered the bell. They found their franchise caller and they made the moves that are necessary. And then today they make another move that's necessary. So then the great words of Gary Williams.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
Yes, he said that on this show, Bears Hour Live. There's hope, guys. There's hope. And that's where we end this show. There is hope. I'll bring the guys back in. I want to thank you, Chris Jackal. We've been here all day covering this game. My dad, I want to thank you for doing a great job. We'll be back next week. You'll be back. X's with the O's one day this week. We're going to pop up for the patrons. And Shane, always, you're the best at what you do. Always seeing through the vision of what is going on into the background. You see exactly where it is. So I'll let you give your final thoughts, Shane. Dad, you already said your final thoughts, but
get off the show.
Get off. No, we'll never kick you off. But final thoughts is going to go to Shane, and then we're going to wrap this up.
No, man, we've been waiting a long, long time for this. It's, you could feel the emotion on this network the night that it went down when we saw the Bears come up to number 11, draft Justin Fields. And from that day on, things changed as a Chicago Bears fan, as this franchise, and the fans showed up today. You could hear Greg and Alex talk about it, and Ron, and you could feel it in the stadium, all because of number 1, Justin Fields. Like I said, don't forget, it doesn't mean because he's here and he's playing that it's always going to be, on the up and up and everything is going to be perfect. It's not. He's still a rookie quarterback in the NFL, and there's a lot of great players in the NFL that are trying to prevent him from making plays, and these guys are all good football players, so don't ever forget that. But we're onward and upward. You want to see him. You heard him learn from a mistake already, talking about, I think I'm going to shelve that spin move. Yeah, you better, kid.
Exactly.
We need you out there. But, just like Coach said, go out there, make the improvements on what you failed with today. You want to see progress. Like we said, every single practice with your elite players, you want to see something that makes them special. Even if it's in practice, maybe it's in the classroom, and definitely in a game. And we've seen that with all these practices, with everything with Justin Fields. We saw it today where you get on the edge of your seat and you're like, wow, that's what we've been waiting for. That's what we deserve. And I think that this is day one of, like I said, hopefully a 12 to 15 year career in the NFL. And I'm looking forward to it.
And we were live here, Shane, on the best post-game show covering the Bears, bar none. And we had over 700, almost 800 people live at points here today, just on a preseason game. That to me is crazy. I love you guys. I don't want to keep anybody any longer. We'll be live. Go over there. Do yourselves a favor.
Go Bears, fans. Go Bears.
That's right. It's a better chant, Coach O. I like that one.
TapeNeverLies.com. Become a patron. I don't know what you're not. I don't understand how you can't be. It's going to be so much fun breaking this team down. We got a new left tackle in the building. You got a lot of stories, and we're going to be covering it like nobody else. Wednesday night, we'll be back here live. So God bless you. Have a great day. This is the best show, Bears Hour Live. Me, my dad, the smartest man, and our producer here, Chris Jackal.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.